Okay, I am live on the New Jersey Turnpike, and yes, that was Christmas music, folks, that they're playing on WJBR. It's not even Thanksgiving yet, folks. It's November 13th, I think it is. I am going down the New Jersey Turnpike, 75 miles an hour. Coming back from India today, and we are doing our live show, so hopefully the broadcast will come out well and you'll be able to hear everything and the sound quality will work. So if you're listening live right now, hey, send me a chat because I can kind of look at that. I'd love to know who's listening in right now with me and let me know if the sound quality is good and what's going on. So anyway, just got back from India this morning. I had a stop in Dubai on the way back. So I've been basically traveling right now the equivalent of about 25 hours, 26 hours, something in that neighborhood here. And so I want to talk a little bit about the trip and talk about travel and where we are heading with this. So I'm going to try and do this coming down again live from the New Jersey Turnpike exit. Looks like coming up to exit 3. So we are at mile marker 28.7 at the moment. And looking for a great opportunity to talk about this trip. So I started what was called the Golden Triangle trip. Flew into Delhi, India. Got there last week. Spent a couple days in Delhi. Went around to a lot of the things that are there in Delhi and all over India are mosques and temples and some of these buildings and things like that have been around for, 1500s. You know, a lot of these things were built. And I'm going to do this a lot off the top of my head because I don't have anything in front of me because I'm driving. So I don't have any of my literature or anything of that nature to tell you. So we're going to kind of talk about this kind of off the cuff. And again, for those of you just tuning in, this is Creative Travel Worldwide. We are Creative Travel on the internet at creativetravelinc.com. I am on the New Jersey Turnpike coming back from India live to you right now at 75 miles an hour. Excuse me, sorry about that. And yeah, you know, it was funny because I missed my radio station. So when I got to exit 6 of the Turnpike, I was able to turn my stations on, and I can't believe they're playing Christmas music already. Are you kidding me? I love you guys at WJBR, but it's not even Thanksgiving yet. There should be a law. You cannot play Christmas music until after Thanksgiving. And maybe they're playing it because they're expecting snow, I hear, tomorrow. And I came from 90-degree weather. It's cold out there right now. My car says it's 41 degrees. So I flew in from Newark, New Jersey. Got to Delhi via Dubai. Had a 2.5-hour layover in Dubai. So I got to Delhi, went all around the area, visited a lot. I hired a guide. Had one driver for me the whole time for the whole week. One driver. But I had 3 different guides in each area that I went to. And I got to tell you, it's a really interesting country because I guess we think of it a little bit differently than we do other countries in terms of them being a little bit more economically stable, I guess, for lack of a better word. And I guess going there and seeing how things are and then looking at a lot. I don't know if all of you realize that India as a country has, I think it's 26 or 29, I forget exactly how many off the top of my head, but it's in that neighborhood, states. And the entire country is 1/3 of the size of the United States. Think about that for a second. 1/3 the size landmass of the United States. Now, the United States has approximately, from the last census, which was actually earlier this year, has about 375 million people here in the United States. That's a lot of people. 375 million throughout the United States. Now, remember I said India is 1/3 that size. But they have 1.3 billion. That's with a B, folks. 1.3 billion people in their country. 1/3 the size, almost 5 times as many people. That was astounding to me, that there's that much population there in that small of an area. So, a lot of cars, a lot of traffic, a lot of pollution because it's a small area. And I'll talk about that in a little bit more when we talk about pollution in some of the other areas. But so I went all over Delhi, and hotel was a beautiful hotel, very nice, stayed in. The guide I had was very opinionated. She was not in favor of all the different fractions of people that are in India, and she made that pretty clear to me, that she was not into some of the other groups of people that were in her country. Though my understanding is, and I didn't know this, I'm curious on how many of you did, back in the day, Pakistan, Afghanistan, India, they were all one big country at one point. And then they kind of split off. Pakistan split off, and then India became independent. I think it was I forget if it was late 20s or late 50s. I get that one confused. But they broke off and got their independence. And so the country's a lot smaller now. But the structures and some of the things that they made and the way they made them there is absolutely astounding. It's gorgeous. I mean, you have to remember that these people were hand carving stone, and the detail and the different things that they carved and the artwork that they did was absolutely incredible. And to see that and to see how long ago this was, and yes, there's a lot of destruction, and now they're trying to maintain some of these things, and some of them have been completely destroyed, and some things have been rebuilt and restored, and so there's a lot of that there. But it's a very old, when you think about some of the things that have been around since, I think, the 9th century. That's a long, long, long time, folks. So it was really interesting to be able to see that. Now, driving was an experience. I have to tell you that. My driver was good. He got his way through. If I understood Indian and some of the things he was saying as he was driving, I probably could have guessed that he was not happy with some of the other people on the road. But then again, I have a feeling that some of them weren't so happy with him. But I think that's the way of life, driving in India. So I have lots of pictures that I've shared, some already online on our Facebook page, or my Facebook page. I will put some on the Creative Travel Facebook page later, probably later in the week or next week. But I still can't grasp how they took, for an example, there was a 2-lane road that we were driving on. But there were 4 lanes of vehicles and actually a 5th lane of motorcycles. They don't understand over there that the lines between the roads are a divider between roads, the sides. I think what they think that is okay, I ride this line, you ride that line, and then we fit a car in between them. So you're going to ride that shoulder line, you're going to ride that shoulder line, I'm going to ride this middle line, and then we're going to put a car or a vehicle in between all of us, taking a 2-way lane into a 5-lane road. And that took a little bit of getting used to, folks. I got to be honest with you. I mean, I've had my share of driving in New York or even Philadelphia when it's game day. And you got to be aggressive driving sometimes, getting in from lane to lane and making turns. But I've never seen anything like this before. And it was very interesting. Even a 5-lane road, actually I think there were 6 at one point, they were still trying to get as many vehicles in there as they could. And they would drift from one to the other. And I think it's the car in front that gets the right of way. So if you're in the front and you start to drift, the car behind you has to beep at you and tell you that. So the car behind you then beeps their horn, and you either continue to change lanes and let a car go around you into a new lane, or you drift back into another lane and the car keeps going. So combine the cars going from lane to lane, drifting through, adding lanes, and the beeping of horns, and you've got just a really interesting experience. And I was teasing my one guide at one point, my last guide, and I said, I'm going to create a song in the sounds of India with beeping and the cars and the yelling and it was an incredible thing to witness. I'm not 100% sure I could drive there. I'm sure I could after a little while, but it would definitely take some getting used to. And I've yet to figure out how my driver snuck through these little lanes and didn't get hit or hit somebody else. We did have one time that somebody tapped his mirror, and that was it. I did see 2 accidents when I was there. Shocked that there's not 500 times that many. But it was a really fun experience. So I enjoyed it. Took a little to get used to, but I didn't panic, didn't grab onto the OS handle, didn't grab my feet down. I just trusted my driver. Kind of something I wish my daughter would do when she drives with me. Just trust the driver. I'm sure she's not listening, so I could say that, but anyway, so that was the fun part of Delhi, getting around, going there. And then I drove with my driver from Delhi to Jaipur. Now, Jaipur is a part of, and I'm not going to ever get it right, so I'm not even going to say it, but it's the second largest, or actually it might be the largest state in India. And some really neat things there. I mean, there was a palace, a royal palace there. Got to see their palace where their king lives. Now, I don't know if a lot of you know this or not, but their king is 19 years old. So the royal family now consists of the king, a 19-year-old king, his mother, her husband is passed, his grandmother, and her husband was the king and passed. He has a little brother and a sister, but he is the king. And I believe he's been king since 13, I think is what I remember. So I got to see his home, and he was actually home apparently when I got there, but he didn't come out to greet me. I was kind of teasing my guide a little bit about that. So where's the king? Why isn't he here? Why didn't he come and see me? So that was kind of a big thing there. But beautiful properties, and symmetry is something that's so important to the people who are building these. Now, obviously back in those days, a lot of these kings, and they were Arab, they were Indian, they were different ethnicities back then. A lot of the kings, there was a name, I just can't think of it off the top of my head right now, driving down the road. For those of you that are just tuning in, I am live on the Jersey Turnpike, just passing mile marker 12.2, and going about 75 miles an hour down the Turnpike, getting home from India, flew into Newark, New Jersey, and heading back. I'm actually going to